great traditions of high school football continues Saturday afternoon in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The 72nd annual Cocoa Bean game between the Milton Hershey School and Hershey High School here on ABC 27, presented by PHFA. Hi, everybody. Greg Mace together with Jerome Presley and Todd McCall. It is a gray overcast day, but the great tradition of this game, Jerome, continues. Everybody talks about this game. These kids remember this game for a lifetime, and it really is one of the great traditions in local high school football when these two get together.
It definitely is, Greg, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I can't see a football season without the Cocoa Bean Bowl Classic. You can call it many things, but it is definitely a historical game for both of these teams. When you look at the dynamics of this school, Milton Hershey School and Hershey, it's one community. You have adults that work at the school that have students that go to Hershey High School, and they know these Milton Hershey School students, so they do know each other. So it's a friendly rivalry, but I'll tell you what, it is a rivalry nonetheless. These teams want to beat each other, and this is the first year that they're not playing to start the year off. They're actually playing the third game of the season, so we may see a little difference here.
All right, what we'll also see is some nasty weather. Coming in here today, it was pouring. It's let up a little bit, but Todd, it's going to be a factor today.
Well, I have my slick shoes on, so my footing down there on the AstroTurf wasn't very good in pregame. But noticing pregame, one thing I did see out of both quarterbacks on both sides, Milton Hershey and Hershey, was underthrown balls. That ball's heavy, it's slippery, receivers coming back to get it. Watch the kicking game. The footing is really bad, even on the AstroTurf. So if it had to go down to a kicking game, don't expect any magic right now with that footing on that wet turf.
All right, Jerome, let's talk about Milton Hershey. They're 1-1 so far. Both teams have the same pattern. Let's talk about the Spartans.
Well, the Spartans came out in the first game against CD East, and it was a very difficult challenge for them. CD East is a very heavily veteran defense, and it was hard for that offense to get some traction. They come back the next week against Muhlenberg, put up 27 points. However, offensively, still trying to get traction. They run a spread look, so they want to put the ball in the air, but weren't able to do it too effectively, even in a win. So today, you want to see them get some traction and try to get some more balls in the air to see if they can spread out and get the ball into those athletes.
All right, Hershey's got a new coach. Talk a little bit about the Trojans.
Well, first of all, Scott Mitchell's going to do a great job here. You can see that already. They're 1-1. Their Achilles tendon and it would be possibly the fact that they fumbled the ball. 4 fumbles in a 14-7 victory over E-Town. Now, that is normally not the case. It's something we'd be talking about a loss right there. So see how they handle the ball. The one thing I think they're going to have to do on the defensive challenge Hershey has today is they may roll Milton Hershey quarterback out. They may do some slants. Quick guy gets a slant. Can these D-backs defend them? So I would say speed and the spread on Milton Hershey, an advantage. Defensively, they've got to be able to cover people if you're Hershey.
All right, it's also a very special day because they're celebrating Milton Hershey's birthday, and everybody will be Milton Hershey today. Opening kickoff when we come back. Milton Hershey, the 72nd annual Cocoa Bean game here on ABC 27. Happy birthday, Milton.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, you two. It's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
HoffmanFord.com, turning the World Wide Web into the World Wide Wow. Find the newer pre-owned Ford you want right now from your computer. Shop online 24/7, 365. And our exclusive inventory is updated daily. With hundreds of new and used vehicles, you're sure to find the one that clicks. Hoffman Ford, Harrisburg's premium Ford dealer for 60 years. Click on or come by.
Advanced Hoops Spring AAU season was historical as teams at every level won championship after championship. Team PA boys and girls won at the national level, beating some of the best teams in the country.
This fall on November 1st, players from all over the region will be trying out for our 2015 spring teams. Register for tryouts now at advancedhoops.com.
You already know your Giant bonus card is a great way to bag real savings on groceries. But it does so much more, like helping you pump up your fuel discount with Gas Extra Rewards. Just by using your Giant bonus card, you'll save 10 cents per gallon for every $100 you spend. So the more you buy, the more you save. Gas Extra Rewards, fueled by Giant.
Here we go with the opening kickoff, the Cocoa Bean Bowl, and it's going to go deep to Michael Gadd, who is a speed demon. Watch him cut right up the middle. Gadd has an opening. Just what we expected from Michael Gadd. Great field position for Hershey to start this game.
It definitely was. And Todd, I gotta give you some credit on that one. You called that early in the situation about kicking it to Gadd and what he can bring after a 91-yard return last week in that game.
And this is a 48-yard return for Gadd. He takes it all the way back to the Milton Hershey 37-yard line where Hershey goes 1st and 10. Saturday afternoon live high school football here on ABC 27. McCurdy keeping, scrambling, and a big defensive play by Milton Hershey on the opening possession.
And that was number 23. Deshaun Harris is able to get penetration. You saw some indecision. It looked kind of like on the replay that it may have been a busted play. McCurdy went the wrong direction and kind of set himself up. And there you go with the sack for Milton Hershey. Good start for them.
Perhaps a little misguided play action will bring up 2nd down and 16 from the 44. Opening moments here from Hershey, and the rain is let up. They have a great homecoming crowd here at Henry Hershey Field. On 2nd down, Trey Nalavu gets back to what appears to be the original line of scrimmage and then maybe a couple more yards. It'll bring up 3rd down.
And that's what you want to see. You're seeing Hershey want to establish the line of scrimmage. Initially, it was possibly a busted play on that first play. Now they go right to the running game. And if there's one place where I think Hershey may have an advantage, it could be that offensive line.
3rd down and 9.
2nd and 9 from the 36. 3rd and 9.
From the 36 out of the shotgun. McCurdy, there's the give. First man through. Nalavu again, and that'll bring up 4th down. So after that big run back by Michael Gadd, Jerome, good defensive effort there by Milton Hershey.
Very good defensive effort. That's exactly what Milton Hershey wanted to do, was kind of quiet down that offense, and especially off of that really good return. Now it brings up a 4th down. Looks like Hershey is going to go for it with the field position situation in their favor.
Well, you'd really have to place your punt perfectly inside the 35 to really make a difference here. So on 4th down, Hershey will go for it. They've got 7 yards to go for the first. It's McCurdy to throw, little screen, and it is dropped. Drew Painter was the intended receiver. So Milton Hershey gets it back on downs.
And a good pressure by number 12, Niall Garber. One of the things he did, and even on short passes, if you can get pressure on the quarterback, you can make an errant throw, and that's exactly what you saw on that play.
Will be 1st and 10.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Milton Hershey. And although many of these kids certainly weren't football aware when this streak continued, Hershey has won 15 of the last 16. First play from scrimmage for Milton Hershey is on the quarterback keeper, and Lucas will hang on to the football and pick up about 3 yards.
And I'll tell you what, Greg, one of the things that we talked about early is the youth of this Milton Hershey offense. They lost some really, really good players from that team last year that was the defending Capital Division champion or co-champion. So you have a lot of youth trying to gel today.
2nd and 6 from the 39. Give is to Tasker. Dontrese Tasker gets to the outside and gets banged out of bounds.
And good job for that Hershey defense, stretching out stretching out that boundary to make sure that Tasker had nowhere to turn the ball upfield. So good defensive effort. Once again, these defenses are digging in pretty good to start the game.
Todd McCall is on the sideline. Is it still raining?
Yes, just when you guys said that it would slide off, it kind of picked back up again, and I noticed that really that last pass on that screen by Hershey was mishandled because of the wet ball.
So to bring up 3rd and 8 from their own 37. Keontae Lewis, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, will go to the air. But has to take off and got the 1st down and more across midfield. Good heads-up play by Keontae Lucas for the first down for Milton Hershey.
And this is the area where I really want to see how Milton Hershey can handle the passing game. Can they throw the ball? And in that situation, the quarterback's able to get some really good blocking on the outside. And I'll tell you, Lucas gets upfield. He is an extremely good athlete, turns the corner and gets the first down.
Cross midfield to the 47-yard line. Likely not to go to the air a whole lot when it's coming down like this. Lucas looking. Well, he's multifaceted. Boy, he can scramble, can't he? I mean, he's looking for the hole, trying to zig and zag, and he picks up about 2 or 3 yards on that one.
And that looked like a design run all the way. You spread out with multiple receivers, get Hershey out of a base defense, spread them out, and then have the quarterback, the athlete that he is able to get a little bit of yards. But Hershey did defense that well, only allowed a 2-yard gain by Lucas.
Bring up 2nd and 8 for Milton Hershey. No score. Early first quarter here from Milton Hershey School, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Gorgeous campus. And there is the give to Shabazz. Chief Shabazz picks up maybe a yard or so that'll bring up 3rd down.
And I'll tell you, the Spartans definitely want to get Shabazz going. He's going to be very, very important. You can't just set up and just throw every play. You need to get some running and establish the line of scrimmage for Milton Hershey. So make sure you look at Shabazz getting a lot of carries today.
So Hershey had a big 3rd down earlier, and this is another big one here for Milton Hershey early going. 7:35 clock rolling here in the first quarter. Lucas. Well, that's only going to work so many times. They have a marker down, though. Looks like we might have a personal foul after he went down.
Yeah, guys, that personal foul was a head to the helmet by Hershey, in one of those plays where you don't get opportunities this wet rain to make these type of penalties, and you see all the frustration on the Hershey side, gentlemen.
And you saw Jeff Boger, the coach of Milton Hershey. You'll watch the replay. Now you'll see Lucas go down, and then right there's the personal foul. Don't dive in. Don't get over anxious.
And he was down for a good amount of time. His knees touched, so there was no reason to do that. And it actually bailed out the Milton Hershey offense that was pretty much shut down after that play. So they get the ball, and they get to continue to drive.
And what could have been 4th down and a turnover, going back to Hershey, it's going to stay with Milton Hershey. They've got it on the Hershey 29-yard line. There's the give to the outside, finding some running room. Shabazz almost to the goal line. Will mark it at the 5-yard line, make it the 10. Another first down for Milton Hershey. Boy, Shabazz is quick.
And Shabazz, only a junior, at 5'6", 170 pounds, very low to the ground. You see him get outside. Once he gets to the corner, he turns on the jets. And really, right now, the momentum of Milton Hershey is really starting to exert themselves against this Hershey defense.
19 yards on the pickup for Shabazz, and a first down for Milton Hershey from the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. 7:09 left first quarter. Milton Hershey looking for the first points of the Cocoa Bean game. Gives to Tasker, and Tasker didn't get anywhere.
And Todd, can you look at the splits on that Milton Hershey offensive line up here in the box? It looks like they are huge. And what kind of view are you seeing down there?
Well, I mean, I tell you what, they're shorter and they're stockier, but what they do is they're quicker off the ball. And that's been the difference right now, is that quicker. A lot of them look like smaller, medium-sized fullbacks. But Jerome, you mentioned it very well. When they go to their trips formation, all they're trying to do is open running lanes for their quarterback. And that looked to them they're actually just trying to flank the Hershey defense.
2nd and goal from the 11. Lucas throws wide open, touchdown Milton Hershey.
And I'll tell you, Greg, that was just a blown coverage. Number 12, Garbert, was not even covered on the play. He's able to get out into the secondary, right into the end zone, wide open. A blown coverage by number 3, Austin Paxton, lost sight of him, and there you go with the touchdown.
Niall Garbut, 6'3", 245-pound, wide out on that one, but he plays defensive line as well. Casey Harrington's kick is good. 7-0 Spartans midway through the first quarter. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27.
Hey guys, just in time.
When Julie wanted to provide some stability for her two boys, she reached out to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for her home loan. We're proud we could help Julie and her family. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help homeownership dreams come true.
Ruff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Ruff Tractor celebrates its 55th year in business, serving the total sales, rental parts, and service needs of its customers. Ruff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, featuring the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Ruff also offers 24/7 job site support. Ruff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Back live, Milton Hershey with a 7-0 lead, and Hershey going to get decent field position on the return. That play went the drive was 9 plays, 65 yards, 3 minutes, 19 seconds, and a very effective drive, very impressive drive from Milton Hershey, mixing it up, then going to the air.
Yeah, definitely mixing it up, and again, they were bailed out on that penalty that they had, the personal foul that gave them a first down when it would have been 4th down, and Hershey's defense did make the stop. So that's Milton Hershey. The Spartans are capitalizing on the mistakes of Hershey.
7-0 is our score. 6:16 left here in the first quarter. Greg Mace, Jerome Presley, and Todd McCall on the sideline, and the give to Nalavu. And he'll get back, not even to the original line of scrimmage. He'll bring up 2nd down.
And I'll tell you what, that touchdown, that drive really energized this Milton Hershey team. And I think right now they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they really want to win this game. It's been a while since they've put Hershey away in a football game, so they're really amped about that.
Both teams 1-1 on the season coming in. They both lost their openers and won their second game. Hershey ball, make it 2nd and 10 from the 33. Nobody jump. And the give goes to the outside. That is Jesse Ogbo. And Ogbo takes it cross midfield and a big first down for Hershey.
And again, you saw that offensive line of Hershey exert themselves. Ogbo's able to get to the outside. And again, it's going to be hard for him to break big ones. I mean, that secondary for Milton Hershey is very fast. But you saw that offensive line really get on, hat on a hat, and make sure that they open up that hole.
1st and 10 from the 33 for Hershey. They rarely work out of the shotgun. There's the give. That is to Nalavu again, and he gets almost first down yardage. Give him about 8 on that one.
And you see that power run formation, similar to what you see from the academies in the college game, where you have the fullback and then 2 wings. And then there you just get the fullback first man through, right up the A gap to see if he can get yards. And he gets 7, 8 on the first down.
2nd and 3. The Lavu again. And it looks like it's going to be close.
That level will be carried first step by number 44, Chris Bonanni.
Well, you saw Coach Jeff Boger on the sideline. He came over here from Trinity a number of years ago. He's done a great job over here at Milton Hershey.
He definitely has. I mean, he came from Trinity where he won a district title in AA and then was a runner-up the next year. So he brings a lot of experience, and you see a lot of that in the Milton Hershey club.
1st and 10 for Hershey. They'll work out of the shotgun this time. Guess who? The Lavu.
Again, Hershey is leaning on this offensive line. And again, that's where the advantage, if I see an advantage anywhere, Milton Hershey runs a 3 defensive line front with multiple linebackers behind that. They are slightly undersized against a very, very sound and big Hershey front line. So they're going to try to really establish the line of scrimmage in the run game.
2nd and 3. Hershey looking for their first points of the game, trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter. And again, Nalavu And he's going to be bottled up by that Milton Hershey defense. Well, good effective drive, though, here so far for Hershey.
Definitely good effective drive. And on that play, the one, and we talked about the advantage that maybe Hershey has on the offensive line. The defense for Milton Hershey is very fast, so going wide on them could be difficult. And there you saw on that play, they were able to stretch it out and make the tackle.
3rd and 3 here for Hershey. Labu again. Let's see if he got first down yardage. It's going to be close. Oh, he's been the go-to guy, picking up a lot of yards.
Well, he definitely is the go-to guy, and he 5'7", 175 pounds. He's going to be the workhorse right now to test that Milton Hershey defense. It's 4th down, and this is 4th down territory, definitely. And you can see the offense is still out there.
So it's 4th and 1 for Hershey. 7-0 Milton Hershey. 2:55 left here in the first quarter. Glad you're with us here today on this rainy day in central Pennsylvania. It's a great crowd, though. I mean, it's a homecoming, and people are coming out whether it was pouring or not. It's kind of a steady drizzle. On the keeper, McCurdy, and it looks like he may have that first down.
Definitely, and again, it'll be interesting to see in the 4th quarter if Hershey can continue to pound this defense. This gets tiring in the 4th quarter to try to stop it, and you're already seeing they're willing to take their chances of just grinding this out and killing clock and keep on moving down the field, matriculating down the field 5, 6, 7 yards a pop on the offense, rushing the ball.
Labu's already got 8 carries for 35 yards. And he didn't get any on that one. That's his 9th carry, and it looks like it'll stick at 35.
Now what you're seeing on that play is Milton Hershey is starting to add more numbers to that front on defense, which may make them susceptible to being thrown on. So when a team continues to batter you up front, you then start to commit more defenders to the run, and then it opens up the passing game for your ability to do that.
Clock rolling. Scott Mitchell on the sideline. First-year coach from Chambersburg. Now the head coach of Hershey High. The give goes to the outside. Ogbo was bottled up there. Jesse Ogbo, who had that big pickup earlier, gets stopped.
And I'll tell you, linebacker Josh Hernandez is really trying to energize that defense. He's coming up. This is probably the 3rd tackle he's made or been in a row, and he's really trying to energize that defense to get a stop here.
So it's 3rd and 9 for Hershey from the 10. They're down 7-0 looking for their first points. McCurdy to the air, throws, and it goes off the fingertips. The Labu.
And Greg, that's pressure. Pressure calls that with Nathan Hauser. He came in unblocked to the quarterback, and regardless, McCurdy fades back. He throws the ball, gets it out quick, but you see that blur of brown coming in from the left of from your left side. You know you can possibly be hit. It makes an errant throw. Good defensive effort.
And I don't know if you guys saw the water coming off that ball, but that water, when McCurdy threw it, it just rainwater bouncing all off that ball, and you could just tell he didn't have a great handle on it when he released it.
Yeah, good point, Todd. That ball is heavy. The more rain that comes down on it.
Vince Pauletti, his kick is good. So Hershey gets on the board late here in the first quarter, under a minute left. Spartans 7, Trojans 3. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27.
Advanced Hoops Spring AAU season was historical, as teams at every level won championship after championship. Team PA boys and girls won at the national level, beating some of the best teams in the country.
This fall, on November 1st, players from all over the region will be trying out for our 2015 spring teams. Register for tryouts now at advancedhoops.com.
You already know your Giant bonus card is a great way to bag real savings on groceries. But it does so much more, like helping you pump up your fuel discount with Gas Extra Rewards. Just by using your Giant bonus card, you'll save 10 cents per gallon for every $100 you spend. So the more you buy, the more you save. Gas Extra Rewards, fueled by Giant.
The 72nd annual meeting between Hershey and Milton Hershey, one of the great traditions in local high school sports. Greg Mace, Jerome Presley, Todd McCall here on ABC 27. It has been raining on and off, and more on than off, and it is, I think they turned it on again here because it's coming down. There's a great crowd here, though, today, considering the weather.
It definitely is, and it always is, regardless if it's rain or shine.
A little squib kick going to Milton Hershey. And tripped up and still on his feet, Keith Hunter, and finally brought down. That was a great effort, and he gets all the way back almost to the 35-yard line.
I tell you, Hunter just stayed up. I mean, he just kept going and kept going and kept going, and now they have good field position for the Spartans.
18 yards after the 33-yard line. Spartan ball, 1st and 10.
So Hershey putting together a 11-play, 57-yard drive that took just under 6 minutes to get that field goal. And now Milton Hershey going back to work. 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And it is starting to rain harder. On the keeper, Lucas. Going up the middle, get about 3 yards.
And again, another designed run for Lucas. There is no handing off there. They want to establish the quarterback as a threat in the run game.
Winding down, and you can see the rain, which is coming down harder. This is artificial turf here.
Yeah, this is a really good surface. I remember a couple years ago when Milton Hershey, it was a very, very bad rainstorm, and Milton Hershey was one of the few schools that played. And it was against Still High, and Milton Hershey pulled off an upset, I think it was 2 years ago, and it was a downpour. This field handled it marvelously, and they were able to complete the game.
7-3 after 1. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27.
Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan, Pre-Owned. The Brenner family of dealerships is proud to support High School Sports Live. And we've been serving Central PA for over 93 years. We have everything that you're looking for. Great customer service, great pricing and selection, an excellent service department for the life of your vehicle. All at the Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg and on Paxton Street, Harrisburg. 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 93 years.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Welcome back. Cocoa Bowl, Todd here with the cheerleaders. Xander, you guys are now going to your all-water gear. You guys keep switching.
Yeah, it's getting cold, and then it stops, and then it switches on and off.
Being optimistic there with the fact you didn't have your jackets on.
Yeah.
And whose birthday is it today?
Milton Hershey's.
Over her left shoulder, just want to look what they did here. The Milton Hershey cheerleaders have put up a big sign that says, "Happy Papa Birthday, Milton Hershey." So happy birthday, Milton Hershey.
Well, he's the man who put all this together, this entire town, many, many years ago. And what a wonderful tribute to his life. And this is, Jerome, you work here. This is an incredible campus that people have never come out to see this.
It definitely is, and I think, for the students here to be able to have this, it's a blessing for them, and they make it possible for everything that happens. These kids are amazing kids, and on both sides. You have it on Hershey's side. It's a community. Milton Hershey affected the entire community. This town was Milton Hershey, which includes everything that you see, and that includes not just the school, but the school, the park, and the entire establishment of this community. And that's what makes this game such an amazing opportunity that needs to be played every year.
Shabazz got bottled up there. Milton Hershey with 47 total yards in this first quarter. And on 4th down, they will punt it away, but not before we blow the whistle. And Hershey's going to call timeout.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a good stop for Hershey. The Trojans were able to weather the storm of a very good return from the kickoff, and now getting a stop is very important. On the last drive, they were able to come up with at least 3 points, and I think that's important to at least get 3 points out of the game. I know they definitely wanted 7, but 3 is on the board. They're in striking distance to try to take the lead of this game.
Should mention, you saw in the beginning, as you take a look at the crowd on the opposite side there, and a lot of Hershey fans as well, and a big Hershey student section over there that maybe we can get to a little bit later. 72nd annual game here, and here is the homecoming side for Hershey High School. We should give a lot of credit to the Rotary Club of Hershey. The game began in 1943 as a community service project and has been supported by the Rotary Club ever since, and a lot of the Rotary members out here today. 7-3 is our score, as you see. 11:20 left in the first half, and Hershey will punt it away, and here is Gadd. Will back up, back pedal, and head forward. Michael Gadd. All the way to the 25-yard line. We have a marker back down upfield.
And again, Gadd is really doing a good job on the return game. He's carrying over from what he did last week. And Milton Hershey really has to tighten it up. And that's the one area that both of these teams, especially when you look at the weather, that they need to focus on is the special teams. And this is what you're seeing. A second good return by Gadd.
But I think it's going to come back. I think there was a block in the back by the Hershey Trojans. And it appears that, I haven't heard the indication, but it looks like it's going to come back.
And that was a late flag as well. I mean, you saw, I don't even know if it needed to happen, and it did, and it negates some of that yardage.
And it happened after Gadd had gone out of bounds. It was a block in the back, a real hard extra surge and black. I don't know if we got on the camera angle there. But
a 40-yard punt on a 35-yard return, and some of that will come back, and they'll bring it back to the 44-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for Hershey. They trail 7-3 here in the second quarter. Well, look at the great defensive play right there, and it looks like Hershey got the ball back.
That's Milton Hershey ball, guys, on that fumble. The back never got it. And this surge from that defensive line, Milton Hershey's playing very enthusiastic on that defensive side today. I got to give him credit.
Chris Boani was the junior who came barreled right through right there. And you see him get to McCurdy and force the fumble.
And that was, the footage was perfect. You saw he comes straight through the line of scrimmage, Bonani, and he's able to strip the ball unblocked. So good defensive effort.
1st and 10 for Milton Hershey, second quarter. And on the keeper, Lucas. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Jerome, you talked about these being design plays. At times it looks like he's trying to give himself some kind of an option there, but generally he's going forward.
He's going forward, and what he's doing is zone blocking scheme. So basically you see, the actual offensive line doesn't have to stunt. Now, he did have a pool of a tackle coming, and he can pick and choose which hole he's going to go through by what he sees. So you saw some indecision there, and by then, that's the problem. You can't have indecision. You have to choose and go. And he kind of had some indecision, which gave the defense time.
His choice on second down is to throw, and it is complete out in the flat there to Keith Hunter, but he's going to lose yardage.
Let's talk about that fumble by Hershey. That's their 5th fumble in 2 games. In a game like this, Milton Hershey seems to be capitalizing on all the turnovers. But look at that last pass. When you talk about handling the ball, it's very dangerous right now to throw it into any receiver's hands with the conditions.
And especially when it's well read by the defense. That was a good defensive effort. That play was blown up long before it got started.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 13 from the 42-yard line. Their own 42. Lucas to the air. A little screen across the middle, and that is complete. Amir Manning.
Pass is complete to Jamari Licorice.
Check that, this is Jamari Licorice. He's number 2.
And Greg, as you can see, this, again, as we talked about, this Hershey passing game is still a work in progress. They're still trying to figure out what the kids can do. They're very young. Coach Boger talked about it early in the season, the first game. After that, how this youth has to mature.
On 4th and 8. Take one bounce, and they'll get a Milton Hershey roll, and more of a roll, and more of a roll, and it'll take it to the 11-yard line. We'll take a quick timeout. 7-3 8:46 left. First half, Spartans on top here on ABC 27.
Today, we have some breaking news on the West Shore. Some spraining, twisting, popping news. It appears that Mechanicsburg is getting a state-of-the-art OSS orthopedic urgent care. This is what we know so far. OSS urgent care is much faster than the emergency room. All patients will be seen by orthopedic experts. Costs are typically less, and OSS is open 7 days a week. Remember, if you have a sprain, pop, or break to report, go right to the experts. OSS Orthopedic Urgent Care. 2 great locations, York and now Mechanicsburg. Now that's some good news.
First play for Hershey from scrimmage. Jesse Ogbo will pick up a couple of yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. Well, you're not passing a lot today, are we?
No, and both of these teams, again, they've been struggling offensively to establish. You haven't seen any huge offensive outbursts. The Milton Hershey defense is really trying to commit a lot of players to the run game to try to see if they can clog up these holes. Now, when you commit that many, you don't just put them in up front and have them do nothing. You put them up front and you have them stunt. You have them hit the gaps to try to fill every gap to stop the running game to counter the size. So you counter size with speed and numbers, but it does make you susceptible to the pass. However, because of the elements, Hershey may not want to throw the ball as much because, again, that ball gets heavier and heavier as rain and water continue to hit the ball.
We have a Hershey player down on the field. We'll check out his situation here in just a moment. True Vision Realtors is the most enthusiastic and innovative real estate firm in central Pennsylvania, offering multiple programs from for sale by owner to full service. They're a locally family-owned community, and they service for your buying and selling needs. To catch the True Vision for your housing future, call 717-925-9095. Well, that'll bring up 2nd and 7 for Hershey.
And again, we talk about that size. Now, Milton Hershey does have a really good sized guy, Al Lampley, a 12th grader, 6'2", 305 to anchor that defense. And there you go. You see him on the play. When they run in his direction, he's going to be difficult to move.
McCurdy on the carry, as you heard the public address announcer say. That'll bring up 3rd down. 1 touchdown in this game. Niall Garbutt on the end of a 12-yard pass to make it 7-0 early. A field goal by Hershey made it 7-3. Those are the only points of the game. Under 8 minutes left to go here in the half. 3rd down for Hershey from deep in their own territory. McCurdy will go to the air. Looking, hooks up. It is a wide open. Ouch. Wide open Adam Roboski.
Now, I'll tell you what, I am kind of shocked that this wasn't called a personal foul because, you know, of headhunting in a way. And 3 years ago, this would have been okay. Wide open play. Now, this was dropped, so was there a need for this hit to happen? And you see the hit. Now, it wasn't a helmet to helmet, so that was good. Could they have gotten a defenseless receiver? It was shoulder to helmet, so that's a good thing. But they did not call a defenseless receiver, which is we've seen that called at every level, high school, all the way to the pros.
Well, and it looked like he could have easily caught the ball.
Yeah.
You know, that ball was hung high by McCurdy, and that when that receiver's up there like that, but I will tell you, I give credit to that Milton Hershey defense in leading shoulder.
Yes, it was, yep. And we were able to see it on the replay. When you saw the bam, bam, the ball didn't hit, you know, we got the replay, and it was shoulder, so it was a legal hit. But sometimes you'll still get the call for a defenseless receiver.
And Jerome, that's why I stopped playing football, as you know. After 10th grade, those type of hits, I stuck to the hardwood.
Yep, that was a good hit. That was legal. When you look at the slow-mo, it was.
Well, it'll bring up 4th and 7. Chris Santana is deep for Milton Hershey. Back at midfield. There's the punt. Good hang time. And it will take a Hershey bounce, a big Hershey bounce. Great hang time. Nice punt. Take it back at the 43.
It'll still be good field position for the Spartans, good defensive stand, definitely some hard hitting, and this Spartan defense clamped down. You're seeing them commit. McCurdy misfires on a pass play, good defensive effort. Now Milton Hershey takes over, leading 7-3.
Got 43 yards in the punt. It'll bring up 1st and 10 for Milton Hershey, leading 7-3 here. We are midway through the second quarter. Glad you're with us here on ABC 27 on this rainy Saturday afternoon, part of our High School Sports Live package of high school football games this year. We had West York and Red Lion last night, and we will have Saturday games all leading up to the playoffs, and then, as usual, our full slate of basketball and wrestling action.
And this is amazing for the high school student athletes to have an opportunity to be on TV and to show what they have in Pennsylvania football and show everyone what Pennsylvania football has.
Well, our new digital channel, not really new, we've been on the air with that for a long time, is giving that opportunity. On 1st down, they go deep, and it is incomplete. We got a marker down on it. We're going to call pass interference. Back upfield, back downfield, I should say, and like Zach Miller was over the intended receiver, who was Keith Hunter, it looked like.
And again, you see the receiver trying to make an adjustment on the play, and the defender doesn't give him an opportunity to do that, and as a result, you have to call that.
Rain letting up a little bit, so they're going to the air perhaps a little bit more, but it is pass interference on a 1st down for Milton Hershey. So they'll get the ball past midfield from the 47-yard line. On 1st down for Milton Hershey. To the air goes Lucas. To the scramble goes Lucas. Avoids one tackle. Back to the line of scrimmage. Got more. Not quite to the 1st down, but a great move by Keontae Lewis, who made a whole lot out of nothing.
He did. Lucas is a very shifty runner, and you can see he's picking and choosing where he goes, and if you don't get him down on the first hit, he's going to matriculate off field. He sees it, able to break the tackle. He has blockers in front of him, a caravan, and then he just puts on the jets, that I would say, and his shiftiness is able to get him close to the 1st down.
Lucas has 7 carries for 35 yards. It brings up 2nd down and 2 from the Hershey 40. Lucas on the keeper, up the middle. Lucas has some running room and finally dragged down across the 20, and another big pickup, and we have a marker back upfield, and it looks like another personal foul.
And again, that was a design run again, and you see Lucas getting upfield.
Personal foul, face mask against the Trojans.
And it is a face mask penalty against Hershey. So the big pickup, combine it with a penalty, and Milton Hershey's on the move.
They're definitely on the move, and I'll tell you, we talked about Hershey's offense and how the offensive line can kind of tire out a Milton Hershey defense. So far, that hasn't happened. The same thing can be said by a quarterback that continually gashes you over and over again on design runs, or when he's back to pass and decides to tuck it, and you can't get to him. That can tire you out just as bad.
So the Lucas run combined with a penalty takes the ball all the way to the 9-yard line. It is 1st and goal for Milton Hershey, looking to add to their 7-3 first half lead. Lucas, give to the outside to Shabazz. And finally, had it by one leg there and finally brought him down.
Good defense by that Hershey front, able to get penetration. The key to stretching out an offensive or a long running play that's to the outside is penetration by the defense, and you saw on that play the defense stretch out the running game.
And you'll watch Shabazz go to the outside and then try to cut back, but nice kind of one-leg tackle there, and it brings up 2nd down and 11. 2nd and goal from the 11. To the air, Lucas throws, it is complete, and he is in for a touchdown.
And that's the 2nd touchdown pass for Lucas. He hits Hunter on this play, and Hunter's able to muscle himself into the end zone. A good quick hitter, and this is what you talked about, Todd, those quick hitters to get the ball into the hands of the athletes for Milton Hershey.
And that's exactly what we talked about at Jerome. They're spreading with going trip formation, double receivers on one, and opening run for him. Easy formula.
12-yard touchdown pass to Keith Hunter, and the extra point is blocked.
Casey Harrington's point after attempt is blocked, unsuccessful.
So it'll make it 13-3 Spartans. 5:23 left here in the first half, and we continue live here on ABC 27.
No matter the season, when it's time to gear up, you've got to get to Kelly's Sports. Kelly's Sports. Top quality sports equipment for the field, the rink, the court, and more. Matched with the experience and knowledge to help you get the winning edge. Plus all the latest styles from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And the large selection of name brand athletic footwear. Local sports team members get 10% off all purchases. Kelly's Sports. In the High Point Commons, Harrisburg. Or visit online at kellysports.com.
And Milton Hershey's taking a 13-3 lead here in the second quarter, and they will kick off. That'll go to the far sideline. Zach Miller on the return. Well, Milton Hershey scored 13 points. So when you score a point, you got to do a push-up. That's what the cheerleaders do, right? Well, we're going to see who is that physically fit sideline reporter there. Look at him.
That's Todd McCall banging out the push-ups. The form is perfect, even in a suit. The form is perfect, Greg.
How'd you do that, young McCall?
You know what? I just want to thank Jerome Presley. I want to look as good as him. He's my workout partner. In a few years when we used to travel that arena football thing, he'd get up at 5 a.m. and work out while I slept. And I felt bad. Now I'm just trying to look as good as him.
Hey, man, you're looking better than me. You keep banging those out with the cheerleaders. And, hey, you may get to do a lot of them today if they keep scoring.
They said they wanted 40 of them, guys.
See, little did you know, years later you'd have that cushy broadcasting life but still have to do those push-ups.
You're right.
Jesse Ogbo made the first carry, picked up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd down and
Now the rain's let up, it looks like, a little bit again.
And again, you'll see both sidelines trying to keep that ball as dry as possible so it can take some of the weight off and these quarterbacks can sling it around a little bit.
On first, make it 2nd down, little screen pass is incomplete.
McCurdy's pass intended for Trey Nedlevu.
13-3 is our score. It says 7-3 there on the board, but we'll update that there for you. It's 13-3. Spartans are on top. Pac Financial helping local families build, manage, and protect their retirement investments. Do you have a game plan for retirement? Steve Marazzo is a local advisor who listens and cares. No account, too small or too large. You can call Steve at 564-6400 about the free, no-obligation retirement projection. Thanks to Pac Financial for all of their support of high school sports live. On 3rd and 7 for Hershey, trailing by 10. McCurdy to the air, throws a little screen, goes out to Ogbo, and he is stopped. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down.
And again, you saw the defensive speed. First on the penetration to the quarterback, and second to the moving to the defense and moving to the ball. And they were able, Milton Hershey's defense were able to shut down that entire screen situation from the second the ball was snapped just because of penetration from that defensive front.
So it'll bring up 4th down and 11. Little low line drive punt. Kind of scooped up there by Santana, and he will fall on the ball, and they'll get it back at the 39-yard line. Got a lot coming up for you at halftime. We're going to have a little celebration of Milton Hershey's birthday with his homecoming crowd. We'll talk to the president of the Milton Hershey School, Pete Gert, and we have a great feature on Gary Gilliam, who was one of the graduates of Milton Hershey School, went on to a great career with Penn State, and now is playing for the world champion Seattle Seahawks.
And I'll tell you what, Gary was an amazing athlete at Milton Hershey. I mean, he really was. I mean, you're talking about a standout basketball player, standout football player. He was an amazing athlete here, and to see him weather the storm as an unrestricted free agent or undrafted free agent and then make the roster for the world champion Seattle Seahawks, that's huge for this school and more importantly for him and his family as a person.
Well, that is always a tough road to go when you were a free agent and you walk in and you're not drafted, and to make the team and to make the Super Bowl champs is even more impressive. On the keeper on first down, that is Lucas again, who carries the ball.
And I'll tell you, Gary had a presence on campus. I mean, he was about 6'7", so you see him walking around, this 6'7" kid, so it was no wonder that Penn State was interested in him. He initially was a tight end, and then he got up
to Penn State.
Got up to Penn State, had an injury. That was a very, very difficult injury to come back from, and he showed his perseverance by doing that. Moved over to tackle, and now he's in the NFL and has a good shot to really make some things happen. Athletic tight end / move to tackle. Those guys pan out pretty good, a la Jason Peters, Philadelphia Eagles.
Lucas on the keeper, got back to the original line of scrimmage. And Gary's a great kid. I mean, he's such a nice guy.
Definitely.
Well, we're certainly proud to say he is a graduate of a local high school, and great to have him with his presence at Milton Hershey. And you're going to hear his life story and how he wound up here at Milton Hershey. There's a great feature that was put together by Doug Legore here at Milton Hershey, and we'll run that for you at halftime. 3rd and 6 now for Milton Hershey. Haven't gotten a whole lot after that punt from their own 42. Lucas setting. Looked like he wanted to go to the air, and now he will again keep it himself, and he's dove across midfield, and he's got a first down.
And I'll tell you, Lucas is causing havoc for this Hershey defense, because on that play, Greg, this was a design pass. He gets some immediate pressure. He tucks the ball immediately, and as a defense, you now have to chase this fleet-footed quarterback all over the place, and it's giving Hershey fits right now to try to corral him.
Here's Shabazz on first down. Gets about 3, and Jeff Boger says he wants a timeout.
Timeout.
Well, we talk about Gary, and we talk about the athletes that Milton Hershey has put out to colleges. Last year's group, they had 3 from Kevin Wiggins, went to Millersville, Trey Brown to Delaware, and Tamir Jones, he went to Lafayette. Not to be undone, the Hershey team also had 3. Jalen Harmon at Shippensburg, Jesse Campbell at Towson University, and Chase Watkins at Bucknell. So both of these clubs were able to put players into the college ranks to begin their collegiate career.
The MHS community is so proud of Gary Gilliam.
2nd down and 8. And Jeff Boger will talk it over with his team. The Big 33 Football Classic is the Super Bowl of high school football. There has never been a Super Bowl play without a Big 33 alumni player. The 58th Annual Big 33 Football Classic is June 20th, 2015 in Hershey Park Stadium. You can visit big33.org. 2nd and 8. Looking deep, throwing, and it is complete, and it is Keith Hunter for the Milton Hershey touchdown. Wow.
And again, beautiful pass, but more importantly, a beautiful reception by Hunter. Hunter adjusted on the play, and he used that height. Hunter's at 6'2", 200 pounds. He's able to use that height and his strength, and you see on the replay, this is just a straight drop back, good line protection, lob up ball. Hunter gets his hands on the ball, and he's able to overpower and use his speed and kick in his afterburners to get the long touchdown pass.
2nd touchdown for Keith Hunter, 48 yards. The point after is good. And Milton Hershey, using that speed, has taken a 20-3 lead.
And again, that athleticism and speed, and what this does, if Milton Hershey continues to score, it's going to cause the Hershey offense to get out of that power running game. They're going to have to throw the ball, and that'll play right into what Milton Hershey wants to do. They can peel back and go after the quarterback at that point, and it takes away that ability for them to be grinded down on by this Hershey offense.
And you talk about the adjustment that Hunter made. That ball was actually thrown in double coverage. He came back between two defenders to get it. And one of the things that I see with Lucas as quarterback is there for a split second, it appeared that he might step it up in the middle and try to run it, and just steps right back out, designed to throw it. And that running game has set up that one particular pass that they needed.
Good point. And you see you talk about him running the ball and running the ball and running the ball and gassing that defense to eventually they begin to think he's going to run, and then he pops a big one in the passing game. So good design, good strategy by Coach Boger on that play.
So Hershey's Michael Gadd will work it out, finding some running room, and that is a big pickup for Hershey to start this drive with 1:48 left.
And that's an area of concern for Milton Hershey, and this is what's happening. Because the kick is short, it gives the line drive kicks that are short, gives the returner ability to scan the field when he gets it. He has a lot of time before any defender touches him, and Gadd, an experienced and good returner that he is, he just gets north and south. So he gets north and south with a lot of room before he's even touched. He's already 20 yards into the return.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Hershey. They need some points here. The give is to Trey Nalavu.
And Xavier Pendleton, number 4, 5'10", 190-pound linebacker. He stayed at home and made a really good play, a no-gainer on a counter play that could have went for big yardage. He was the only one home, stayed home and made the tackle.
2nd and 10. Time running down here in the first quarter. McCurdy out of the shotgun, will throw quickly. Out in the flat, and a quick pickup, and that is Nate Davis, 5'7" senior.
Curdy's pass complete to Nate Davis, driven out the bounds at the 48-yard line.
And it'll bring up 3rd down.
So this will be a big down for both teams. I mean, Hershey on one end, they want to get some yards and get this first down to keep this drive going and see if they can put some points on the board. Milton Hershey, if they can make a stop here, they're going to take over and really control the momentum and keep the momentum going into halftime, which would be very important.
0-5 on 3rd down. The pass is complete. Ogbo got some running room and got the first down. First down conversion for Hershey. They've got a minute to work with now. On the move.
Well, I'll tell you, the Trojans definitely want to at least get some points. If they can't get a touchdown, at least get some points in a field goal opportunity going into the locker room. That'll at least gain some momentum.
So on 1st down, Hershey working from the Milton Hershey 40-yard line. McCurdy to the air, throws, almost picked off. Well, at least he got a hand in on it. That was Ellis Atkins who batted it down, and it'll bring up 2nd down for Hershey.
And you saw immediate pressure right there from number 4, Xavier Pendleton is able to break through along with some help, and they put a really good hit on McCurdy that makes the throw a little arid.
2nd down and 10 from the 40-yard line for the Trojans. They trail 20-3 here late in the half. McCurdy to the air, throws, and that wasn't going anywhere either. Deshaun Harris was the defender who got his hand in on it.
And I'll tell you, Todd, from what we're seeing, and you can see it from the field, we're seeing Milton Hershey coming with different blitzes from the outside, and they're not giving McCurdy time to set up and throw at all.
Last 3 plays straight, they have come with double blitz on one of the sides. This time they bounced it for the right side earlier, coming on the left side, the back side of him when he was chasing him out of the pocket. And they're really drilling him. And you can tell McCurdy's trying really hard to get rid of it. And he can feel that pressure coming. Milton Hershey, give them credit for all that they're doing. They're really handling this outside of this Hershey line.
3rd and 10. Big 3rd down here for Hershey. McCurdy to the air, throws. It has come almost. Wow. Nate Davis had his hands on it and dropped it.
Nate Davis falls
and watch this again.
Ball comes back to the 40. 4th and 10.
There's some frustration right there.
There is, and that should have been caught, but at the same time, we talked about the ball. We talked about how heavy that ball is getting with the rain and the mist. So, this is another pass play that Hershey, another drop. This is the second drop that they've had already, and we've already had a fumble by this Hershey offense as well.
McCurdy's 3 of 10 for 15 yards. There's wet balls here today because of the rain. And Hershey will punt it away and calling for the fair catch back at the zone 6-yard line. And Milton Hershey will try to work it out, whether or not they just kind of fall on it and say there's no sense in really taking any passing risk here. Is probably the smart move.
Yeah, there's no reason. And I'll tell you what, Milton Hershey making that stop on defense, the Spartan, they keep the momentum that they've already had and making a big stop with a couple of big hits on the quarterback. They keep the ball, 20-3 lead, 40 seconds left in the half. Right now, the Spartans are in control.
Deep in their own end. And there is the give. Shabazz on the carry.
Ball's placed on the 15-yard line.
Well, they're not taking a knee here. They've only maybe got one more play if they decide to run it.
And I'll tell you, when you have Lucas that has done what he's done in the run game, it now begins to open up Shabazz. And now he can really get going. And you get him going along with Lucas, that's a potent tandem for this Milton Hershey offense and a hard one to reckon with in the fourth quarter.
That is Tasker, the ball carrier, and that will run out the half.
Gain of 7 out to the 22.
And a great first half for Milton Hershey.
With the score,
20-3 Milton Hershey. I'm going to attempt to talk to Jeff Boger here, the Milton Hershey coach. And Jeff Boger is standing by with Todd McCall. Todd?
Hi, guys. I'm here with Jeff Boger. Jeff, your team's got a 23 lead here at the home field. You've been able to open some running hole. Lucas, talk to what he's done, what that offensive line's done first half.
Well, what it is our offensive line. It's been young, and we're starting to click, so we're starting to open up the holes for the stuff that we know we can do.
What do you tell your team here at homecoming going into halftime with this lead?
It's a cliche. It's 0-0 when we come out here at halftime. We got to do what we just did there in the first half, come back out here in the second half so we can bring that beam back to Milton Hershey.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go inside. As you heard it, open that running lane is what they've been doing very well with that offensive line. The advantage goes to Milton Hershey, guys.
And a 20-3 lead at the half as they try to break this tough string that they've gone through for many, many years. When we come back, we'll talk with the president of the Milton Hershey School, just appointed back in June, Pete Gert, and also hear from Gary Gilliam as we continue. 20-3 Milton Hershey at the half. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey, YouTube, it's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help homeownership dreams come true.
HoffmanFord.com. Turning the World Wide Web into the World Wide Wow. Find the newer pre-owned Ford you want right now from your computer. Shop online 24/7, 365. And our exclusive inventory is updated daily. With hundreds of new and used vehicles, you're sure to find the one that clicks. Hoffman Ford, Harrisburg's premium Ford dealer for 60 years. Click on or come by.
Advanced Hoops Spring AAU season was historical as teams at every level won championship after championship. Team PA boys and girls won at the national level, beating some of the best teams in the country.
This fall on November 1st, players from all over the region will be trying out for our 2015 spring teams. Register for tryouts now at advancedhoops.com.
You already know your Giant bonus card is a great way to bag real savings on groceries. But it does so much more, like helping you pump up your fuel discount with Gas Extra Rewards. Just by using your Giant bonus card, you'll save 10 cents per gallon for every $100 you spend. So the more you buy, the more you save. Gas Extra Rewards, fueled by Giant.
High School Sports Live on ABC 27 continues from the Milton Hershey School, where Milton Hershey has a 20-3 lead here at the Cocoa Bean game, the annual Cocoa Bean game, the 72nd annual Cocoa Bean game. We are thrilled to have with us the new president of the Milton Hershey School and a graduate of Milton Hershey School, Pete Gert. First of all, what a great day. Even though it's raining outside, this is really a terrific day to showcase the school. It's homecoming weekend. You have to be thrilled with the turnout here today.
More excited than you can imagine. We are so excited that this is the first year in history, really, that Milton Hershey School has had its homecoming on Milton Hershey's birthday, also for the Cocoa Bean game. So we're making history today, and especially with that score, we're even more happy.
I want you to explain, first of all, you're a graduate here, so obviously, although this is your first game as president,
yes,
you've seen a lot of these games, correct?
Yes, I have.
So talk a little bit about the tradition of this game and kind of what it means to the kids.
This is the rivalry, in my view, it's one of the best rivalries in the country. When you think about the history between Hershey and Milton Hershey, the connection of our founder, our mutual love and respect for Milton Hershey, the man. The neat thing about this stadium is, my senior year, when I was class president, this stadium opened, and the first Cocoa Bean game on this stadium was played in my senior year. So now to be the president, to see a game happen here, knowing the history and the camaraderie that exists between Milton Hershey and Hershey, it's just a thrill. It really is.
I know you could probably talk about this for hours, but explain to people, because I know people know the Milton Hershey School. They drive by the campus. Explain what the Milton Hershey School is about in a nutshell, and what your mission is here, and why the kids come here.
Sure. Our mission is to serve as many kids as we possibly can who unfortunately have been born into a circumstance that through no fault of their own. We serve kids in poverty. We are 1,960 students strong, so we're the largest in our history at the school, and we plan to serve even more kids. And so kids between the ages of 5 and 16 who have a need, we provide with them a home and a school and medical care. We feed and clothe them. We provide basically all their needs so that they can be successful in life.
And thus this becomes a life experience. And I know so many people, so many students who have come out of this school who obviously have felt this is the difference in their life right now.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I can speak for, personally. My father died at a very young age, and my mother made the difficult decision to enroll my brothers, and I was 5 years old. So I literally spent 13 years of my youth here learning and developing and being surrounded by the best staff in the world that care for kids. And to now be honored as the school's president is the biggest thrill of my career.
Talk a little bit about now what some of your goals are going forward with the school, and what things that you would like to accomplish here.
We really want to first grow the school. Like I said, we're the largest in our school's history. We're the largest residential school in the world. But just in Pennsylvania alone, there are probably 500,000 students who could benefit from an experience like Milton Hershey School. So over the next 5 to 7 years, we want to grow the school to about 2,300 kids. We also want to improve upon the programs that we already have. So helping instill the strong, top-notch education that our kids need, coupled with the strong character and leadership skills that they need so that they can be successful as they leave us. And then how do we support our younger graduates even more than we do now?
Talking with Pete Gert, the president of the Milton Hershey School. This is certainly such an integral part of this community as well, and it's such a great, tight-knit community. Those of us who are in sports are out here obviously all the time, but I think it's really fascinating to see how Milton Hershey not only grew this school, but also the entire community. Absolutely. And how it's all kind of intertwined now.
Absolutely, and that's why this is a serious rivalry, but a fun rivalry. As soon as the game is over, we're all going to hug and celebrate Mr. Hershey's birthday together. But there's something so unique and special about the Hershey community that I just don't feel it anywhere else in the country. I just think that's how amazing Hershey, PA is.
Pete, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my
Congratulations.
pleasure.
Congratulations on your appointment, and congratulations on a great day, even though it's a little gloomy out here.
Let's
you
keep
guys
it
are
going.
20-3. Exactly right. Pete, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Pete Gert, the president of the Milton Hershey School. When we come back, we're going to talk to one of his graduates in a feature form, Gary Gilliam, now with the Seattle Seahawks. When we come back, 20-3 at the half here on ABC 27.
Today, we have some breaking news on the West Shore. Some spraining, twisting, popping news. It appears that Mechanicsburg is getting a state-of-the-art OSS orthopedic urgent care. This is what we know so far. OSS urgent care is much faster than the emergency room. All patients will be seen by orthopedic experts. Costs are typically less. And OSS is open 7 days a week. Remember, if you have a sprain, pop, or break to report, go right to the experts. OSS Orthopedic Urgent Care. 2 great locations, York and now Mechanicsburg. Now that's some good news.
Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan, Pre-Owned. The Brenner family of dealerships is proud to support high school sports live. And we've been serving Central PA for over 93 years. We have everything that you're looking for. Great customer service, great pricing and selection, an excellent service department for the life of your vehicle. All at the Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike Mechanicsburg and on Paxton Street, Harrisburg. 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 93 years.
There's a place where kids really connect to learning. Commonwealth Connections Academy. It's a tuition-free, fully accredited online public school where students find devoted, enthusiastic teachers like never before. Commonwealth Connections Academy, the online public school.
High School Sports Live is sponsored in part by The Patriot News, powered by PennLive.com, and by Keystone Tax Associates, a specialized sales and use tax consulting business, and by Sports Recruiters, your vehicle for sports success. SportsRecruiters.com.
No matter the season, when it's time to gear up, you've got to get to Kelly's Sports. Kelly's Sports. Top quality sports equipment for the field, the rink, the court, and more. Matched with the experience and knowledge to help you get the winning edge. Plus all the latest styles from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And the large selection of name brand athletic footwear. Local sports team members get 10% off all purchases. Kelly's Sports. In the High Point Commons, Harrisburg. Or visit online at kellysports.com.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends, but tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Our OSS Health halftime report continues from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Greg Mace, Jerome Presley, Todd McCall, a 20-3 lead for the Spartans at halftime. The Milton Hershey Spartans band is out on the field right now. Well, one of the great graduates of this program is Gary Gilliam, great player here at Milton Hershey. Went on to have a great career at Penn State, and now is with his Seattle Seahawks. But he has, like many of the Milton Hershey students, a very unique story to tell. Let's meet Gary Gilliam.
The road to Happy Valley is not always a pleasant one. Take the case of Penn State offensive tackle Gary Gilliam. Before he became a 6'6", 300-pound football player, Gilliam was a small, scared 7-year-old whose mother enrolled him at Milton Hershey School in 1999.
And at that point, I felt abandoned, felt like I was alone, and I had a lot of questions. Why me? What did I do? Does my mom not want me anymore? Will I ever see her again? Why'd she ship me away to this strange place with these strange people? And as I grew up,
Questions that only his mother knew the answers to. Her reasons for sending Gary away were simple, but not easy.
when she was dropping me back off,
She was a single mother, working full-time, and caring for Gary's younger brother, a child with special needs. She wanted the best for Gary and realized that living in a rough neighborhood in Harrisburg and hanging out with the wrong crowd was not the right path for her son. But his mother's decision was hard on a young boy's heart.
I would actually hold a picture of her in a perfume box and just look at it and smell it because I miss her so much, and I cried every night.
But at Milton Hershey, Gary would thrive, both academically and athletically, surrounded and encouraged by caring adults. As a student, he consistently made the honor roll. And as an athlete, he made college programs notice. But playing for a school where parents typically don't attend games, the stands behind the sideline can be sparse. But there was always one familiar face.
Mrs. Ainsworth, she's my junior chapel leader. Definitely my second mom. She was at every sporting event, even the away ones that maybe two people were out, her, my mom, and maybe somebody else. She was always there.
But our kids need to look up there and hear someone cheering for them. And really consistency, someone who's going to be there, snow, sleet, rain, you know, I'm going to be there because they need it.
These days, Gary plays in front of tens of thousands of fans, a far cry from the typical road game of his high school career. And just like every team has a game plan, Gary has one of his own. He dreams of playing football in the NFL, but if he doesn't, this all-academic Big Ten student will graduate as a triple major with degrees in business, advertising, and psychology. Gary never forgets to remember where he's from, often returning to Milton Hershey to encourage parents of current students.
Obviously, Milton Hershey can benefit a lot of kids around the country. And I mean, I'll do my best and have done my best to kind of get the word out about Milton Hershey and what a great place it is.
And Gary Gilliam now with the Seattle Seahawks. What a tremendous story, a tremendous young man. When we come back, Jerome and I will take a look at the first half. Milton Hershey with a 20-3 lead. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey, you two. It's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
HoffmanFord.com, turning the World Wide Web into the World Wide Wow. Find the newer pre-owned Ford you want right now from your computer. Shop online 24/7, 365. And our exclusive inventory is updated daily. With hundreds of new and used vehicles, you're sure to find the one that clicks. Hoffman Ford, Harrisburg's premium Ford dealer for 60 years. Click on or come by.
Advanced Hoops Spring AAU season was historical, as teams at every level won championship after championship. Team PA boys and girls won at the national level, beating some of the best teams in the country.
This fall, on November 1st, players from all over the region will be trying out for our 2015 spring teams. Register for tryouts now at advancedhoops.com.
There's a place where kids really connect to learning. Commonwealth Connections Academy. It's a tuition-free, fully accredited online public school where students find devoted, enthusiastic teachers like never before. Commonwealth Connections Academy, the online public school.
And we are back at Milton Hershey School. Greg Mace with Jerome Presley. 20-3, Milton Hershey's on top, and a very impressive effort. Milton Hershey's mixed it up, not only with the run, but they've had two big passes here in this game, and good effort by them so far.
Definitely good effort. I think the one area where Hershey seems to be ill-prepared is defending the quarterback's keeper. And Lucas right now is causing havoc in that Hershey defense. And I think right now the defensive line has to stay in their lanes. They have to keep gap integrity, and they must try to bottle up Lucas from getting out, because once he gets going, it opens up everything else.
All right, let's take a look at some of the first half highlights, because you might expect nothing but runs, but we've seen some effective passing here. We're going to start in the first quarter as Milton Hershey went to the air. The pass to Niall Garbutt, good for 12 yards, and a 7-0 Milton Hershey lead. Then to the field goal. Paoletti for Hershey puts it through the uprights late in the quarter, made it 7-3. Now to the air again, Keith Hunter finding some running room there and dives across, 12-yard touchdown pass, made it 13-3. And then the big play, this touchdown pass to Hunter again, his second of the game. Great hands, great reach there on that one. Made it 20-3 at the half, and that's where we stand. The rain has kind of come on and off as we take a look at our halftime stats. 94 yards rushing for the Spartans, 72 for the Trojans. The big difference so far, total yards 165 to 87. You can see the first down difference right there as well. So that's where we stand here at the end of the first half. I want to thank a lot of our sponsors here so far, and a great support from those sponsors from High School Sports Live. Danette Bartholomew, the official photographer for High School Sports Live, and she's the owner of Legacy Images. Call 979-5322 if you'd like Danette's, her professional services. Charlie Fortney's Advanced Hoops continues to be the leader in training players for the next level, with AAU tryouts approaching November the 1st. For the spring AAU teams, you can get your spot. Also, the Jerry Stokes 3v3 Memorial Tournament coming up October the 25th. You can register your teams at advancedhoops.com. Did you know that Cleveland Brothers is much more than just earth-moving and construction machines? They're rental and standby generators, truck engine services, air compressors, global pumps, and so much more. Visit them at clevelandbrothers.com. Penn National Insurance and Servco Insurance Services are teaming up to help all drivers feel secure. Drivers who text while driving are putting themselves and others in dangerous path. Don't text and drive. To feel more secure, read the driver safety tips by going to PennNationalInsurance.com. Driver safety comes first. Second half coming up, 20-3 Milton Hershey here on ABC 27.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends, but tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
Today, we have some breaking news on the West Shore. Some spraining, twisting, popping news. It appears that Mechanicsburg is getting a state-of-the-art OSS orthopedic urgent care. This is what we know so far. OSS urgent care is much faster than the emergency room. All patients will be seen by orthopedic experts. Costs are typically less, and OSS is open 7 days a week. Remember, if you have a sprain, pop, or break to report, go right to the experts. OSS Orthopedic Urgent Care. 2 great locations, York and now Mechanicsburg. Now that's some good news.
A look at the Milton Hershey bench. They won the toss. They deferred, so they are going to get the football. Not only do they have the lead, smart decision on their part in hindsight.
Definitely a smart decision. Now they get the football, and the goal is to go downfield and get more points on the board. And the more that the Spartans can score, it takes Hershey out of that ability to continue to pound that defense. We talked about that earlier in the first half. So if Milton Hershey, if they score again, they really take control, and that means dropping back McCurdy more and more on passing plays.
A quick check of the weather conditions with meteorologist Todd McCall on the sideline. Todd? Todd, we're having problems with your mic there, buddy.
Go right back to that. Mic is on, and the rain has gone to a slight drizzle, but it keeps picking back up and forth. But I want to take a look at this field. If Hank can get it here, cameraman Hank here, this field drains very well. You don't see a lot of water coming off of it, so I don't see footing as a problem. I just see that ball is heavy with that water as it gains. And they're trying to keep fresh balls as soon as they can coming in and out of this with these conditions. Greg?
On the return, here's Keith Hunter, who made a whole lot out of what could have been a disastrous situation as the ball took a bounce back, and he got his hand on it, and he got it back to the 20, where Milton Hershey will start at 1st and 10 with a 20-3 lead.
Well, looking at both teams, for Milton Hershey, they want to establish and see if they can score quickly. Whether it's establishing a run or open it up passing the ball or just letting your quarterback do what he needs to do. On the defensive side of the ball for Hershey, you want a 3-and-out here to get the ball back immediately and see if you can get points on the board. You do not want to allow Hershey to take clock or score on this drive.
On 1st down, they give us to Tasker, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down. Well, this is a great crowd here today. Homecoming here at Milton Hershey. They had a birthday cake celebrating the birthday of the great Milton S. Hershey. We all got Milton S. Hershey masks, as you saw in the open, and everybody had a chance to hold those up.
Yep.
That's a very creative idea. 2nd and 8. Lucas trying to sprint to the outside, pointing to a hole. And he scrambles back and got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe another yard. He's very creative when it comes to running.
He is, and even on a play that should have probably been a 5-yard loss, he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it still brings up a 3rd down and 8.
Sort of pointing, say, hey, block out front there for me. Pointing the licorice and see if he could get it. Milton Hershey is 2 of 5 on 3rd downs. They will try to convert this one. Clock is rolling. Early third quarter. Greg Mays, Jerome Presley, Todd McCall, our Invicta staff, our statistician Travis Sparks, coming to you live from Milton Hershey School here on ABC 27. The annual Cocoa Bean Bowl. There's Lucas scrambling. And he's got himself a 1st down.
Well, one of the things that I see that Hershey is trying to do is commit more defenders to stop the run. And there you saw, even with doing that, Lucas he gets shifty, he picks and chooses where he goes, and he goes north-south, and he's able to pick up the 1st down. That right there takes the air out of you. When you stop an offense to 3rd down, and it's 3rd and long, and then the quarterback tucks it and gets a 1st down on you.
This has been an impressive and effective offense. They've mixed it up. They've gone to the air twice to score. In fact, 3 times. There is the give to Shabazz.
And you see Coach Boger wants to get Shabazz going, because if you can have Shabazz and Lucas together as a tandem and then sprinkle in a little bit from Tasker, then you really establish a good running game, and you can really take Hershey out of what they want to do defensively.
Shabazz 7 carries for 21 yards, brings up 2nd and 10. Lucas looking downfield for his own running room and escapes a couple tackles and picks up 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Good corralling of that defense, and that's what you have to do. You can't overcommit. You got to break down and make sure that you're able to make sound tackles, close the running lanes, and at that point, you saw the Hershey defense do an excellent job of closing down running games to stop and corral Lucas.
We'll call it 3rd and 7 now. Milton Hershey with a 20-3 lead here in the 3rd quarter. Lucas to the air, looking deep. And it is complete. It looked like the intended receiver was not the guy who eventually caught the ball, who was Doncrease Tasker. Keith Hunter was also out there, and suddenly Tasker kind of like shoved his way in there and caught the ball.
Did. And I'll tell you, once again, another play, 3rd down and long, and Milton Hershey converts another 3rd down. This time on a pass play. It takes a lot out of you if you're the Hershey defense.
Good for 43 yards all the way up to the Hershey 25-yard line. Lucas, nice fake, keeps it himself, and Lucas is in for the touchdown.
Wow, design run right up the gut. Lucas fakes it to the halfback. He takes it up the gut, and again, Lucas, you saw on display. You saw him on the ground. You saw him in the air. He's showing you what he has, and he's coming along and showing you the next, possibly the next great quarterback in Milton Hershey.
Casey Harrington is on for the point after. Right to the uprights. Spartans are up 27-3. Midway through the third quarter, Milton Hershey dominating the annual Cocoa Bean game. We continue live here on ABC 27.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Hershey gets the ball back on the kickoff. And they will get the ball back up to about the 37-yard line. 7-play, 80-yard drive, 3:59 on the clock, and they are doing an effective job in every part of this game. Quick update on the scores. Harrisburg is up 13-6 early in the third quarter against the York Bearcats. Of all those highlights coming up for you on ABC 27 News tonight at 7 o'clock. Of course, Penn State plays at 8 o'clock at Rutgers. Early start for the Big Ten schedule as the Nittany Lions look to go 3-0.
And I definitely want to see that game. See how the Scarlet Knights adjust to being in the Big Ten against a hot, Penn State team.
Michael Gadd on the carrying gain of 8. 8-yard pickup. Well, this will be pretty interesting. There's a lot of guys who are from New Jersey who were on the Penn State roster. Right. So there's a little bit of a rivalry there. But I go back many, many years, and Penn State used to play Rutgers every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I used to go to some games at the Meadowlands, but now they are in the Big Ten with the University of Maryland. And I
know Rutgers had an impressive win their first week last week, going out west.
Quick pass to Michael Gadd, and we have a marker down.
And I think that's going to be a hold on number 8, Zach Miller. He just got some jersey there on the play. So, I mean, if you're Hershey on this drive, you have to come away with some points. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to totally get away from what you do, but it's going to be very difficult for you to come back if you can't establish any kind of offense and you get a positive gain and you get a penalty against you.
So that's what happened there. Now, one quick other point about the Penn State game. The offensive coordinator at Rutgers is Ralph Friedgen.
Wow.
And I just learned that. And he's been there, and yep. He's doing a lot of wonders there. And it'll be interesting when they play the University of Maryland, because there's still some hard feelings there between Ralph and
yes,
Maryland.
Yes, indeed. You're a good point. And I think Rutgers has always gotten some really good talent out in New Jersey. So it's now about putting it together again and seeing if they can make a deep run in the Big Ten that's right now struggling as a conference.
And the pass incomplete.
You knew eventually that Milton Hershey was going to force that air game out of Hershey, and it's just tough right now. The balls are being delivered by McCurdy a bit high over the receivers.
Right.
And there's good coverage. Milton Hershey's now going back to that 3-man front that you talked about earlier, Jerome.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to get some turnovers, see if they can get some arid throws by McCurdy and see if they can pick them off. So I would imagine they're going to sprinkle a little bit of blitz in, and they're going to sit back a little bit and disguise coverage to see if they can confuse them a little bit.
3rd down and 11 for Hershey. To the air, out in the flat, it's incomplete.
And you see a fire blitz by number 44, Chris Bonanni, who comes screaming through the offensive front and puts another lick on McCurdy. This is about the 4th to 5th time McCurdy ends up on the turf. So you can see that they're trying their best to make sure that they hit him every time he throws the ball.
4th and 11, and Hershey will have to punt it away. Chris Santana is deep for the Spartans, who have a 27-3 lead, and they will try to work a lot of this clock now. Santana is going to get a little running room, takes it back at his own 25. Now give him about 9 yards there on the return. Lovell was right there again on the stop. We have called his name out a whole lot, but Hershey's not had a lot of opportunities here in this second half to do much of anything. So now Milton Hershey gets the ball back with a substantial lead and clock to work with.
Exactly. And Todd, you talked about on the field the option play that the quarterback Lucas has. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, it starts with his eyes. He drops back. He steps up to the line, like the option pass that you see, spreads his receivers, and it's all designed to see if he has a hole to open it. And then he releases the ball, and he's throwing them under his receivers, but his receivers have made great adjustments. But it's really fooled that Hershey line and that secondary.
And again, you have to worry about defensing his ability to run the ball, and the way he's running the ball on option routes is difficult.
Now, Lucas is responsible for 224 yards of the 254 total yards they've had, 114 passing, 110 rushing. Lucas responsible for 224 of the 254 total for Milton Hershey.
I mean, that's a yeoman's day of work right there. I mean, he's really, and he's not taking a lot of punishing hits either. I mean, he's so shifty that he's able to get down and not take those hits. And now you're seeing Milton Hershey try to spread the wealth to some of the other running backs, and one of them pays for it with a hard hit by Jamichael Weberburn that just knocks, I mean, he really big hit for Hershey.
Against Andres Tasker. You'll see some inspirational defense here in Hershey, knowing they got to come up with some big stops. It brings up 3rd and 7 now for Milton Hershey. They have the 27-3 lead.
And Greg, you said it, big stop. I mean, they haven't been able to stop Milton Hershey this half on 3rd down at all. 3rd and long again. Let's see what they can do.
From their own 37-yard line. Going up top, incomplete.
And again, that was just good coverage by the defensive back on the play, running stride for stride, not allowing the receiver to get open. And Lucas just puts it up there as a jump ball, and Hershey holds, which is something they definitely needed to do.
So Hershey will get the football back. And Michael Gadd is back at his own 32-yard line. Help them out a whole lot if they can get a big return. Takes the one bounce. That's not what they were looking for, but a nice punt. Well strategized. It goes back to the 22-yard line. Make it a 41-yard punt. 4:55 left here in the third quarter. Milton Hershey's up 27-3.
Ruff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Ruff Tractor celebrates its 55th year in business, serving the total sales, rental parts, and service needs of its customers. Ruff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, featuring the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Ruff also offers 24/7 job site support. Ruff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Hershey will start out deep in their own end. 1st and 10. They trail 27-3 here as we approach the end of the third quarter. Pass is incomplete, broken up by Rolando Whitham, I should say.
And that was a good play by Whitham. He was able to keep his arm free and not touch the receiver and reach around and make a good breakup play on 1st down for the Spartans.
2nd and 10. Well, Hershey, I think, has to come up with a couple of big plays, even if they don't punch it in, at least to help their confidence here and get some get some decent field position, but they got to start putting together some drives.
You talked about it, big plays. That's the one thing they're absent. You have not seen big plays from this Hershey offense at all.
And that is Ogbo stopped right at the line.
Jesse Ogbo on the carry.
I want to thank our folks at Pack Financial for their help, helping local families build, manage, and protect their retirement investments. Steve Morazzo is the man to call, 564-6400. A local advisor who listens and cares. PackFinancialFirst.com. Third and 11. Around the outside, that's Michael Gadd, and there's a first down for Hershey.
And you definitely want to get the ball in Gadd's face, in Gadd's hands, so that he can do something with it. And now we may have a personal foul on Milton Hershey right now that may even make this even a bigger game for Hershey.
All right, watch Gadd around the outside. We'll see if we can see what happened there.
Yeah, you'll see out come in, guys, and he just uses two hands and gets upset. It's one of the Hershey offense, and then
and that is a holding and personal foul.
And I think that's on number 71, Al Lampley, and he may be ejected from the game. He may be done for the evening.
Well, it'll be a first down for Hershey as they sort this out. And not only did Gadd pick up something on the run, they're going to pick up a whole bunch on the penalty as well.
And I think that was a retaliation penalty. I think number 71, Lampley, must have felt he got pushed, and then he made a retaliation. And as we know, that usually is the one that gets caught and called. And now, because he actually did that, he might be done for the day. You saw Boger get right up in his face, letting him know that that's not acceptable. And you see it. He gets, that's a hit to the face. And he gets number 59, Blake Smith, has the initial push, which is part of the game. But once you go high like that to the face, that's a difficult situation.
Lovell right there going up the middle, off the right side, and he's going to pick up another substantial game. So Hershey's got a little bit of momentum here, trying to get back in this football game. Take a look at the Hershey crowd. A lot of the Hershey students are out in force.
The problem that Hershey has is they're playing not only the Spartans, they're going against the clock as well. And every time that Milton Hershey has a long, sustained drive, we're looking at only 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third quarter. So if they want to score, get the ball into Glad's hand, get the ball into your playmakers, get some points on the board. Once you get points on the board, you can change momentum and then rely on your defense to try to get the ball back for you.
And it's important for them to psychologically get a little confidence, even though it'll only make it 27-10. They know they can score and put the ball in the end zone. The Lavu got the first down a little bit more. So it's another first down for Hershey. Clock stops at 3:16 left here in the third quarter. Annual Cocoa Bean game, the Cocoa Bean Bowl here from the Milton Hershey School here on ABC 27.2, part of our live high school sports broadcast, High School Sports Live, and our first full season of high school football here on ABC 27. So it's 1st and 10 across midfield from the 39-yard line. McCurdy to the air. Can he get out of this one? Throws incomplete. And we got a marker down again.
And he does get out of it. I mean, that was a sack. And now we have a penalty. So we'll see who's it on.
It's an illegal man downfield.
Flag was picked up. It will be 2nd down and 10.
I guess it was an inadvertent flag, eh?
As the pass fell incomplete.
So it's 2nd and 10.
Well, Hershey, they averted 2 disasters, one being a sack and then the other being a possible penalty. Either one would have backed them up. They stay at 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down. Give Nalavu. Got the cross the 35 to the 34-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and looks like about 6.
And again, that clock keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Right now, Hershey, it's good that they're picking yards on the ground, handing it off and getting positive gains. But again, that clock is against them right now, and it keeps on ticking.
Now, they could probably use a 5th quarter here.
Right, or a big play.
Right. I think the big play is more realistic. 3rd down and 6 from the 35. Olavu, he's got that 1st down and more across the 20-yard line and a big pickup.
And that was a well-designed counter play that basically had the Milton Hershey defense fooled, opened up the gap, and right there you saw just good penetration, good blocking there by number 62, Doug Walker, puts a nice block sealing off that front side and allowed the ball carrier to get the 1st down in positive yards.
1st and 10 for Hershey. Olavu. And he's got about 3. Well, perhaps their best drive of the game.
This is their best drive of the game. I mean, it's consistent. They're really running the ball and really putting pressure on that Milton Hershey defense. And now you're going to see, again, Milton Hershey's defense will start to commit more and more players to stop the run, and maybe you can get something big over top.
This is the 10th play of this sustained drive, and a good one for Hershey. On 2nd and 7 from the 17. McCurdy throws. Lavu, didn't get back. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that pass needs to be on a rope to give your receiver the opportunity to turn and run. That wasn't. It was a lob, and it allowed the defensive back to come up and make a solid hit on the play. And that was number 3, Chris Santana, comes up and lays the hit on the receiver.
Yeah, he was lined up in the deep safety position and came just flying in to make a great open field tackle on the screen. He read it all the way. Down here on the field, yes, while you guys are comfortable up there in the booth, I do get to hear every single hit and be part of it almost.
Yes, you are.
Ogbo picked up a couple of yards.
And again, you see that Milton Hershey defense tighten. If they can get a stop here, it's just like scoring a touchdown. You will stop Hershey from scoring, and on the Hershey side, you have to get points. The quarter is almost over. I mean, you're sitting here going into the 4th quarter. As well and as good as this drive was, it was a clock decimator. It just took the clock down, and you're down 27-3. So it did not help you in that right.
And we're going to go to the 4th quarter now. We'll change ends, and they're going to get a 4th down situation. 27-3 is our score. We go to the 4th quarter from Hershey here on ABC 27.
No matter the season, when it's time to gear up, you've got to get to Kelly's Sports. Kelly's Sports. Top quality sports equipment for the field, the rink, the court, and more. Matched with the experience and knowledge to help you get the winning edge. Plus all the latest styles from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And the large selection of name brand athletic footwear. Local sports team members get 10% off all purchases. Kelly's Sports. In the High Point Commons, Harrisburg. Or visit online at kellysports.com.
You already know your Giant bonus card is a great way to bag real savings on groceries. But it does so much more, like helping you pump up your fuel discount with Gas Extra Rewards. Just by using your Giant bonus card, you'll save 10 cents per gallon for every $100 you spend. So the more you buy, the more you save. Gas Extra Rewards, fueled by Giant.
Take a look at some of the Hershey students over there. 4th and 3 for Hershey. Perhaps their biggest play of the game. Can they convert? They do. Ogbo gets the first down. Todd McCall, what? This 15 out of 16 years Hershey's won this game, so a lot of these kids were babies when that streak started. What's the mood right now, the atmosphere on that Milton Hershey bench?
I tell you what, they've been very jubilant today. Now, this drive has got them a little bit quiet, but for 3 quarters, I tell you what, they've jumped around, high-fiving, and behind the bench is just kind of a really it's just family day. It's a reunion of a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people come up hugging and shaking hands, as former students of Milton Hershey. So it's an absolute beautiful, wonderful day for this school. And it is in a family atmosphere.
Ogbo on the carry. Take it to the 5-yard line. They got to punch it in here quick.
Yeah, they definitely want to punch it in, and I think that's the problem. They're killing clock. A lot of clock is being run off the clock, even though a lot of time is being run off the clock, even though they are getting positive yards, getting first downs. They have to punch this in right now.
2nd down and goal. Olavu didn't get it in. So that'll bring up 3rd and goal. So the total yards, Milton Hershey 252. Hershey's got 146. Almost all of Hershey's has been on the ground.
Right, and you can see, I don't know how much confidence or lack thereof the coaching staff for Hershey, Coach Mitchell has in the passing game right now, and not because McCurdy is not an effective passer, but he hasn't had tons of time. This Milton Hershey defense has gotten after him big time in this game. He's hit the turf multiple times in this game.
Milton Hershey has called a timeout.
Their first timeout of the second half. They have 2 timeouts.
And just their first timeout of this second half. True Vision Realtors is the most enthusiastic and innovative real estate firm in central Pennsylvania, offering multiple programs from for sale by owner to full service. They are your locally family communities, a service for your buying and selling needs. To catch the true vision for your housing future, call 925-9095. Penn National Insurance and Inservco Insurance Services are teaming up to help all drivers feel secure. Drivers who text while driving are putting themselves and others in danger's path. Don't text and drive. To feel more secure, read the driver safety tips, PennNationalInsurance.com. There's a look at the Hershey bench. 3rd and 1. 3rd and goal from the 1.
And again, they have to punch this in for this Hershey team to get some points on the board. And again, you talked about confidence and being able to score.
Somebody jumped, and the ball was loose on the ground. Bad exchange. Now, I don't think that fumble happened before they recovered. The whistle happened before the fumble occurred.
Right.
You watch again, it was a rough exchange here.
The illegal procedure moves the ball back to the 6-yard line.
And that'll move it back to the 6-yard line. That is a big penalty. Doesn't say it's only 5 yards, but it's a big penalty.
Yeah, it's definitely a big penalty, and now it brings up a 3rd down, and you got about 6-7 yards to go. And Milton Hershey has not made, even though this drive was effective, it hasn't been easy. They're getting chumps, but this Milton Hershey defense is definitely tightened up in the red zone.
3rd down and goal. McCurdy will keep it himself, and he is in for the touchdown.
And that was a little dose of medicine that Milton Hershey has been doing to Hershey. So to see McCurdy tuck it and run, he got upfield, found the lane, and he scored for Milton Hershey, and it puts them on the board.
Well, then that was a very confident David McCurdy. Knew what he was going to do and took it up the middle.
And he gave that Hershey Trojan team exactly what it needed, was a score. And now you need your defense. You need a big play on defense, quickly a big play on defense. Maybe a big play on the return game where maybe you can get a turnover or get a quick 3 and out and get the ball back in the hands of your offense.
All right, they're going to go for 2 here. And a whistle before all that happened.
Flag on the play.
And again, on that play, it kind of looked like it may have been a design run by the quarterback or possible option pass where the quarterback can either keep it if he sees a lane or throws it if he doesn't.
That is the 7th penalty against Hershey today.
5-yard penalty moves the ball back to the 8-yard line.
So that'll move this 2-point conversion back to the 8-yard line.
Here's the thing, Greg. Sometimes having more room within the red zone helps you out because you know you have the end zone line or behind the end zone that it shrinks the defenses of what they need to cover. So giving them that extra yards may give them even more room to work with.
That's a good point. Well, let's see what they do with this extra room. McCurdy to the air, going to hang it up, and nope. Would have worked if they had some CFL room there, but not enough.
Very good
American
defense
football.
by Amir Manning.
Makes it 27-9. Milton Hershey gets the football back when we come back.
Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan, Pre-Owned. The Brenner family of dealerships is proud to support high school sports live. And we've been serving Central PA for over 93 years. We have everything that you're looking for. Great customer service, great pricing and selection, an excellent service department for the life of your vehicle. All at the Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike Mechanicsburg and on Paxton Street, Harrisburg. 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 93 years.
27-9, Milton Hershey on top here in the annual Cocoa Bean game. Greg Mace, Jerome Presley, Todd McCall's on the sideline. Our statistician Travis Sparks, our entire Invicta crew. And the rain looks like it's let up a little bit again. Of course, when I say that, it'll start to pour again. Todd, it looks like it's let up, eh?
It has let up. I've put the umbrella away, but you know, since you called me to be the weatherman, I wouldn't mind joining that ABC staff, that already great staff. How about the onside kick there?
Well, and Milton Hershey had their hands right on it.
And again, I don't blame Hershey for doing that. That's you want to get the ball back, well designed, but good hands by the hands team for Milton Hershey. They seemed like they were ready for it. Now, Todd, one of the things I have not seen you do, because, I mean, maybe because Milton Hershey, they scored 27 points. I mean, I didn't see you do any more push-ups.
I didn't want to get any of the equipment affected. That is my excuse for that. I want to keep Hank, our cameraman, dry, too, as well.
Here is the give to Shabazz. And a look at the Milton Hershey bench. We're talking it over defensively. These guys are pumped up.
And I think if you're the coaching staff, you're telling them we cannot let up. I mean, what Hershey's doing is pretty basic. They're running the ball. They're loading up their backfield, and they're coming right at you. So you got to make sure that you get that penetration from your defensive line. Use your speed to your advantage and try to get some stops behind the line of scrimmage. And tackle well. Stop the big play.
2nd and 11. And Lucas will have it and then lose it. Who's got the football? It's like Hershey's got it, eh?
I know Lucas got bent up pretty good, and I mean, it looked really scary. And it looks like Hershey will get the ball. That's exactly what the Hershey Trojans needed, was a turnover, and they get it. Lucas a little careless with the ball on the play.
Jamichael Wedderburn recovering that fumble. Stripped of the ball from behind by Andrew Schwenk. And then Hershey's right there, and what a big break for the Trojans.
And credit Matt Stouch, who, number 50, who made the initial play because he's right in the face of Lucas and caused Lucas to kind of make some indecision, which then allowed the defense to corral him.
So decent field position for Hershey on the turnover from the 45-yard line. McCurdy to the air. He's under a whole lot of pressure, and he's going to get sacked.
And that was the entire defensive line, it looked like, came after him. And I think that was the concern of the Hershey offense, is can they give McCurdy enough time to be able to find his receivers downfield? And on that play, definitely not.
12-yard loss on that one.
2nd and 19.
On 2nd down, there's the pitch. The pitch goes to Malavu. And he didn't get back to the original line there. Picked up about 4 yards. We'll call it 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Again, defense, again, if you're the coach in Milton Hershey and you're looking at the defense, I saw Coach Boger at the end of the half rally his troops together to talk about we're a half away from getting our victory, but you got to make sure you make tackles. Milton Hershey's going to get their yardage, but the Milton Hershey defense must tackle well.
On 3rd down, McCurdy to the air. In trouble again, scrambling and gets sacked. Elijah McNelly. Check that.
I've counted.
Now Garbutt.
Greg, I've counted the rush on these last couple plays. And you can look and see in that monitor that he's getting maybe 1.5 seconds when he drops back. And he can't see his receivers at all because all he sees is brown jerseys coming at him. So you got to give the pursuit for Milton Hershey a distinct advantage today.
And Garbutt was double teamed on the play, and he shedded both blockers and came up and made the stop, the sack on McCurdy.
So Hershey will have to punt it away. Low snap. Undercoffer did a nice job of recovering. Chris Santana.
Undercoffer's punt is returned by Chris Santana.
And he gets back to maybe about the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans, who can eat up a whole lot of clock here if they can pick up a couple of first downs.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm very surprised that Coach Boger is not going after these punts a little harder because every snap has been low to where the punter had to bend down, which takes time away. I mean, if you get a good rush, you can get to him.
Milton Hershey looking for their 2nd victory of the year. Shabazz sweeps the outside.
Out to the 35-yard line.
Now what the Spartans want to do here is make sure that they take this clock down and take as much time on this drive as possible to take time off the clock. And the way to do that is with the running game and get a healthy dose of Shabazz and Lucas.
2nd and 5 now from the 35-yard line. Milton Hershey with the football. They're up 27-9 here in the 4th quarter. Sweep, nice pickup. Tyre Diggs getting his first carry.
And Diggs gets upfield and now brings up a 3rd and short. Milton Hershey's going to be in a full house backfield.
And it's close. I think he got it.
I think he got it too. And again, that sustains the drive, and it'll keep Milton Hershey in their ability to take the clock down. And right now, it's making it very difficult for Hershey to mount any comeback. After that touchdown that Hershey got, that onside kick, Hershey needed that, and they needed that to have a chance. And now that they didn't get it, Milton Hershey, if they get this first down, again, it makes it even more difficult and very unlikely that Hershey will be able to come back.
Very confident Milton Hershey offense. Shabazz again. Boy, he's having a very solid game.
He is, and again, he was getting those. Earlier in the game, you saw 3-yard gains, and they have now become 4 or 5-yard gains. And again, it's wearing down that Hershey defense. And credit Lucas, because Lucas may have tired this defense out earlier in the game.
5'6", 170. He's a junior. 5:30 left.
And ticking.
A little confusion on that one. Now we got a marker down. Guys were kind of going in motion there. A whole different way. It's like, am I going here? Are you going there?
They both went in motion and they both came together, which caused the penalty on the play for Milton Hershey. It backs them up. But more importantly, it stops the clock.
May I point out that it's now raining and the wind is blowing into our relatively warm booth.
Todd would be happy about that.
Yeah.
And now we can experience what you're experiencing, right, Todd?
Well, I was hoping it came sideways at you a little bit just to give you that sense of what it's like to be on the field.
Well, we're getting that now.
Keep your shoes dry, gentlemen.
I don't think we can close the window. So.
Oh no, we're with the elements.
Well, quick screen pass. There's Tasker getting some running room, and he's got the first down. Wow, Dontrese Tasker.
Well-designed play, good play call. Milton Hershey has not run a screen all game long, and they pulled it out at a great time, and Tasker gets north-south and gets the first down. So that was a good play by the coaching staff.
Lucas is very cool under pressure.
He is. He's having a phenomenal game. I mean, I think this is his coming out party. I mean, he's having a phenomenal game, and he really, you look at last year's starting quarterback, who was very, very good. He seems like he's really replacing him very well today.
Well, he gets bottled up there.
And that quarterback was Shaman Walker. I mean, he was a phenomenal quarterback for Milton Hershey last year and led that team to a 8-3 season and a share of the championship for the Capital Division.
2nd and 15.
2nd and 15. But the clock is certainly on the side of Milton Hershey here. From just short of the midfield stripe. Lucas getting bottled up, but he's kind of eating up some clock again there.
He is, and you see Milton Hershey spread him out, 5 receivers, design run play, pick and choose where he goes. It's not so much about the yardage, it's about continuing to allow that clock to tick, 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 and that's exactly what it's doing.
Third and 16. And Milton Hershey looks like they're well on their way to a victory here. Their 2nd of the year, and the one that these kids always will remember for a lifetime.
Yeah, this victory will be huge. I mean, this is the first time beating Hershey in a very, very long time. So these kids came out against a tough Hershey team. And, I mean, Hershey's dealing with, having a new coaching staff coming into this game, coming off of a good win last week. But I think Todd called this earlier in the game. They're having an inability to really have big plays to put points on the board, and we saw it rear its head again. They only scored 14 points in a victory last week, and again we come out, and they only have 9 points on the board now.
It will be 4th and 13.
Well, for those fans at home, and Greg, I know you'll like this. We call this segment the hit parade, where we take only clean hits and we show you what we have here. And there you see it. They're coming from all angles. Big hits, clean hits on the ball carrier. There you see Shabazz get knocked out by number 5, Michael Gadd, on the play, going both ways. You see the Milton Hershey defense. They're swarming to the play for the hit parade. And again, big hits, bam! That was a tempo starter by number 7, Earl. He comes up and makes a play, and then you just see the defense of Hershey come along, and a big stick by number 39, Jamichael Weberburn. So those are big hits of the hit parade.
I like that. That was a nice. It was an old show, probably before you were born, called Your Hit Parade. It was on TV. That's where that comes from.
There you go.
So now Milton Hershey will punt it away. Gadd will pick it up. Nice move by Gadd. And he lost the football, and who's got it? Hershey still has it. A nice return by Michael Gadd. And even though they are likely not to come back and win this game,
right,
they'd still like to keep putting some points on the board, give them some confidence.
Exactly. You want to put points on the board at this play. And Gadd has been amazing on the return game. I mean, you're talking about this season. He's really just hard to stop. But in this case, a good solid hit by Ortiz that jars the ball loose, that almost caused a turnover, which would have been another turnover for this Hershey team to have to overcome late in the game.
From the 45-yard line for Hershey. Curdy throws, it is complete, and he lost the ball. I think that's an incomplete pass.
Good defense again. Chris Santana breaks it up in the back of the secondary, and you can't keep a drive going. You're really struggling to get anything going. You need your receivers to come up with the receptions to at least have some confidence here.
So to bring up 2nd and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line for Hershey. To the air. Boy, the ball has got to be a little wet. Well, here's our play of the game. And this is the 48-yard touchdown pass to Keith Hunter that made it 20-3. Our Pac Financial play of the game.
And Hunter goes up at the highest point, gets that ball, snags it out of the air from that 6'2", 200-pound frame of his, and he's just able to get that ball and take it the distance.
3rd and 10 for Hershey. Out in the flat. That's McNelly, and he's got a first down.
Curtis pass is complete to number 12, Elijah McNeely.
So McNeely picks up the first down for Hershey. They're going to hurry up and try to get some points on the board before time runs out.
Exactly, and this isn't about necessarily winning the game at this point. It's about seeing if you can get a drive going, establish a drive, and get into the end zone for this Hershey team. They definitely want to do that. Good tackle, though, by number 20, Mark Johnson, comes up and makes a good play and shuts it down for a no gain, actually a loss on the play of a couple yards.
And McNelly on the end of that one. 2nd and 12 from the 45-yard line, and we got a timeout taken by Milton Hershey.
Milton Hershey, that's their 2nd timeout.
Well, we have a full slate of games coming up for you the rest of the way here on ABC 27.2.
Please report to the press box.
And next up, Harrisburg and Cumberland Valley. That'll be next Friday night, 7 o'clock here on ABC 27.2. Cumberland Valley coming off that loss, that very somewhat bizarre loss to Bishop McDevitt last night where the lights went out twice. I know McDevitt is obviously looking into that because that's the 4th time the lights have gone out there in that new school, and that's been tough for them. But they stuck with it last night and won the game 6-3.
And on Harrisburg's front, we'll get a chance to see St. Francis verbal commit Mikael Clark at quarterback. I mean, he's been very solid in the offseason. He put on some, really hit the weight room, put on some weight, and he's looking to have a phenomenal season for the Harrisburg. So going against a Cumberland Valley, tough Cumberland Valley team that definitely wants to get that negative taste out of their mouth from last night.
And the pass is complete, but back to the original line of scrimmage. Nate Davis.
Nate Davis.
1:54 left. Right through the hands of McNelly. I'm looking at my Twitter here, and I see Gary Gilliam Jr. Please, this is about an hour ago. Please keep me posted on the Cocoa Bean Bowl. I'll have to send something out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I know Gary will be very excited to hear that his Spartans, with 1:47 left, are up 27-9 and had a really good game against Hershey, which could possibly, and it looks like it's going to be a victory for Milton Hershey, the second out of 17 times.
Pass is complete. Zach Miller escaping some tackles, and he gets past the 25-yard line. So Hershey with a chance to put some points to the board. That pass good for 17 yards and a first down.
18-yard gain down to the
Again, good pass play, good fake. a faked pitch and get the receiver coming underneath, able to get the first down. So you have Hershey that's continuing to work their way downfield, and again, it's about getting points on the board.
And Milton Hershey calls a timeout. Reminder, we'll have highlights coming up here on ABC 27 News at 7 o'clock. Now, I see a bucket of water, guys, headed for Jeff Boger on the sideline. So now they're going to put it back. So we'll alert everybody down there. Todd, I'll alert you on the sideline that something is coming if Hank wants to get over there for this.
And again, this is as big as a championship game for both of these teams. I mean, the Cocoa Bean, especially for Milton Hershey, who hasn't won it in a while, this is huge for them to coming off of a championship last year in the Capitol, and now being able to come in and win the Cocoa Bean game. First time in a long time. So this is a big deal for this club, for these kids, and for Coach Boger and his coaching staff.
1st and 10 from the 25. According to the air, the pass is blocked down. All right, the Gatorade bucket is moving forward. I don't think there's Gatorade in it, but be alert here. All right, that's the guy who's going to get it right there.
Yep, that's the one that's going to get it. And number 60, Jacob Topaz, he's one of them that's carrying the bucket. And number 74, that's Spencer Galitz. He's also a part of it. So they're in the back, and they're getting, you see his teammates are hiding them to make sure that Coach Boger doesn't know what's coming.
That's Jerome Presley identifying those men, not me. Throws, and that is complete all the way down to the 2-yard line.
And that's in double coverage. Number 5, Michael Gadd again. And you see his playmaking ability. That was probably the biggest play of the game for Hershey.
Look at Gadd stretch up and reach on this one. He's had some great returns, and look at him fall backwards there and he actually had both feet in bounds if he did. So it's 1st and goal from the 2 for Hershey. Scrambling, throwing, and
that was a bad
picked
idea.
Off. Wow.
That was the one thing that I was surprised that Hershey didn't try to run it in. They were that close. They went with the pass play, and again, instant pressure in McCurdy's face causes the air throw, which will seal the game for the Spartans.
All right, and here comes the water over top of Jeff Boger.
And he gets all of it.
With one of the assistant coaches as well. Josh Hernandez picked that pass off, by the way.
And again, those kids goes up and hugging them. And I'll tell you what, Greg, I was talking to Mr. Gert, Pete Gert, at halftime a little bit about how Milton Hershey has this game on the 3rd game of the season as opposed to the 1st game of the season, and how historically Milton Hershey gets stronger and stronger as the season goes on. So you see this team may have come together at a good time for them to put them in a better position to have a chance to beat Hershey.
All right, we're going to talk with Jeff Boger, also our player of the game, who I would think is. We got a couple of guys here, Keontae Lewis and Keith Hunter. But these kids in these stands and on that field are ecstatic. It is just if they've won a district or a state championship.
And like I said, it's a big deal. I mean, this is huge. This is about the town of Hershey. So getting this victory is big for the school, big for the students, just like it's been for Hershey that has won this game. But for Milton Hershey, who hasn't won this game in such a long time, it is huge for them.
Time is running down. They have waited a long time for this.
And I think Milton Hershey thinks they won the game, and actually
there's 12,
it's
12
still 12 and a half seconds
Yeah,
left on the clock. So Milton Hershey has to clock it again.
I think
We'll have to run one play here, I think, right?
timeout. Hershey High School, their first timeout in the second half. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
All right, Hershey called timeout. All right, and watch this again here on the sidelines. There's a Jeff Boger right there in the hat. And then, well, there's a little hand problem there. And then, like, the one assistant coach looked like he was trying to hug Jeff, and then he got it too.
Yeah, he got it. He got it, and then he gets a big hug from the kids. And again, big game for both teams. And Milton Hershey finally gets a chance to get that proverbial monkey off the back of losing to Hershey and getting a victory.
So they'll run one play, and that'll be it.
And guys, that just goes to show you the excitement of this team, Milton Hershey, winning this. Everybody's on their feet. They had 12 seconds, and they started celebrating because coming for Milton Hershey. And just look at that bench. You can't tell how much this means, this Cocoa Ball. They're taking that trophy back home with them for this whole season.
One more play. And get into the outside, and a nice finish there by Shabazz. They'll move the chains.
Shabazz on the carry.
Have to run one more play here. No, they'll run the clock.
They'll run it out, yeah.
And that's it. Milton Hershey's won it.
And let the celebration begin.
And that is the end of the game with the final score. The Spartans of the Milton Hershey School, 27. The Trojans of Hershey High School, 9. Which means the winning team takes the coveted Cocoa Bean Trophy back to Milton Hershey School.
Well, that says it all. And the two teams shake hands. Center of the field.
Well, I'll tell you what, Greg and Todd, the one thing that this does, and you talk about how this game propels you to the next week. This is big for both teams.
We will take a quick break. When we come back, Todd will talk with hopefully the players of the game and Coach Jeff Boger. 27-9, Milton Hershey wins it here on ABC 27.
Advanced Hoops Spring AAU season was historical, as teams at every level won championship after championship. Team PA boys and girls won at the national level, beating some of the best teams in the country.
This fall, on November 1st, players from all over the region will be trying out for our 2015 spring teams. Register for tryouts now at advancedhoops.com.
HoffmanFord.com, turning the World Wide Web into the World Wide Wow. Find the newer pre-owned Ford you want right now from your computer. Shop online 24/7, 365. And our exclusive inventory is updated daily. With hundreds of new and used vehicles, you're sure to find the one that clicks. Hoffman Ford, Harrisburg's premium Ford dealer for 60 years. Click on or come by.
There's a place where kids really connect to learning. Commonwealth Connections Academy. It's a tuition-free, fully accredited online public school where students find devoted, enthusiastic teachers like never before. Commonwealth Connections Academy, the online public school.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey, you two. It's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
Our True Vision Realtors post-game report continues live here from Hershey as the Milton Hershey Spartans have beaten the Hershey Trojans 27-9. In the annual Cocoa Bean Bowl, and it breaks a long losing streak. And there is the trophy, held up proudly by Milton Hershey. We'll review some of the stats here, and we're going to go down to Todd in just a second.
Right.
As soon as he finds his way out of there.
And again, you talk about the importance of winning this. I mean, you know, the celebration, you talked about it being such a big celebration for Milton Hershey. It's huge, not just because of the rivalry that it is that Milton Hershey hasn't been able to hoist this trophy in a good amount of time. So getting the second time in the past 17 tries, this is a big deal for them. So it's huge for Milton Hershey, and that's why you see the celebration of not just the football team, the school and the students itself embracing it as a whole. And it sets the tone And when you look at football-wise, it sets the tone for the season for Milton Hershey.
All right, I believe Todd McCall is one of our players of the game down there. Todd?
All right, Greg. With the game, Keontae Lucas. And I want to about you had an outstanding game. Your offensive line cleared holes for you, and you did the rest of the thing. You had shifty eyes. They couldn't catch you. You got in the end zone a couple times. Also threw for a couple today. Talk about what your team did today and how special this is.
What we did today, we simply executed everything we did in practice. We know it's going to be a tough game. We fought hard and we executed. That's all it was.
When you found Keith Hunter in double coverage and threw the ball, he came back for it, made an adjustment. What went through your mind? You looked like you might going to run it, and you stepped back and made the pass.
The play was originally for him, and Coach tells me not to try to make hero plays. So mid-throw, I remember that Keith's a little taller than their corners. I threw it up to him. He came down with it.
All right, I want to tell you this to you. With these conditions today and the rain and the wet, how was that ball and how'd that ball feel when it came into your hands? What was that like today?
The ball was definitely slippery, but that's why I have my towel. I don't want to go out there and make any excuses because we know this is a big game, and I know the school was relying on me to win it, so I don't want to make any excuses. Just go out there and play hard.
And can I ask you this? What's the first song you're going to play in the locker room to celebrate? What's one of your favorite songs to play?
To play in the locker room, I guess West Champion.
Kanye West Champion. And Greg, that's Mr. Lucas, our player of the game. He did it all on his feet, threw it in the air, over 200 and some yards today in combined offense. Greg, our Huffman Ford player of the game, Keontae Lucas.
7 of 9, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns, 18 carries, 104 yards for 1 touchdown. Shabazz had 14 carries. Boy, he was a workhorse back there. 67 yards for Hershey. Rough Goat and Lavu had very impressive, 17 yards, 78 yards. Agbo had a lot of big pickups, 8 carries for 50 yards. Great win for the Milton Hershey School today.
Definitely a great win. I think for Hershey, again, it's about big plays. They have to be able to establish big plays and not just big plays in the return game. They need big plays beyond that.
Todd is moving out to midfield here with the victorious coach. We're going to hear from him in just a second. Great win here today for Milton Hershey, and they take home that trophy, and they'll be able to put it in the case right over there. Well, Todd McCall is down right at the 30-yard line, getting ourselves set. The students are yelling up to us, and he is with Jeff Boger. Todd, it's all yours.
Thank you, Greg. I'm here with winning head coach Jeff Boger. And Jeff, we just interviewed Mr. Lucas, and I think he did a lot of things, but you know what? It was a total effort today. Can you just talk about what that offensive line did and really what your defense did to shut Hershey down?
Well, again, like you said, it's a total team effort, and we emphasize this to our kids every day at practice about, that this is a different place, all right? And our kids are fantastic, school fantastic. They came together as a team. I mean, that's all it is. Our offensive line came together as a unit, our defense, and it's just one heck of a team effort.
And I like some design plays, you went to the trips on one side, opened up some running lanes, and then you stayed with Lucas even after a couple of weeks, and today there's a reason you stayed with him. Can you talk about that?
Well, the reason is that what he brings to our offense is he brings another dimension that we didn't have. Everybody wants to look at what we did last year. Last year's last year. We know our identity of what we need to do this year, and we'll continue to work on it. We're only going to get better. He's only going to get better as a quarterback, and we still have Thomas behind him that still can come in and do some very nice things for us. So it's not just going to always be Keontae.
And I will say this, for you, Coach, how do you personally celebrate tonight's victory?
Hopefully a Notre Dame victory tonight is what I'm hoping when I go home. But with my family and that, enjoying this, it's definitely a sweet win finally. But our focus is going to soon be on Steel High now.
All right, Coach, we're going to let you go back and celebrate and get ready for Steel High. Good luck next week. As you heard, just a jubilated Jeff Boger, and every reason to be excited today down here at Milton Hershey. A big win for Milton Hershey. Greg?
Todd, thanks. Well, This was a fun event. This is really more than just a game. This is an event.
It definitely is an event, and I think, again, we talk about how this game shapes up for both teams moving forward in their individual divisions. You have Hershey that's in the Keystone, and they have a rough go in the Keystone with Bishop McDevitt, Central Dauphin East, and Cedar Cliff, some of those schools that really have some really strong programs. And then you look at Milton Hershey in the Capital, the defending champion, co-champion of the Capital Division, and how this game can propel them. Next week they play Steel High, and we know Steel High is definitely a team to be reckoned with year in and year out. So Milton Hershey now has the momentum of this game coming off of that into that Steel High game, which they've been a thorn in Milton Hershey's side of late, just like Milton Hershey has been to them in years past as well. So that's always going to be a good competitive contest. So this game is big. We're now going into the 4th game of the season for both teams, so it could be a staple for both teams.
All right, you saw our next game coming up next Friday night, Harrisburg and Cumberland Valley, 7 o'clock on ABC 27.2 RTV, where you are watching this game right now. Jerome, it's been a pleasure. It was a lot of fun today.
Definitely.
Thanks.
It definitely was a pleasure.
Jerome Presley joining us. Thanks to our Invicta crew and all the great camera work, and everybody in the truck for their great work today, Invicta.net. Reminder, coming up on ABC 27 News tonight at 7 o'clock, and then following the Tennessee-Oklahoma game, we will have high school football highlights for you, including the Harrisburg and York game, which is taking place right now. Now, for Jerome Presley, Todd McCall, our statistician Travis Sparks, thanks to everybody for watching. Greg Mays saying so long from Henry Hershey Field. Our final score, the Spartans 27 and Hershey 9. Thanks for watching.